Hi everyone, welcome to Meditation with Annemarie. This is my second series on coping with change using your inner power. And everything that I share on this channel is based on the principles and practices of the Brahma Kumaris, and my books and CD are available with links down below. So if you haven't subscribed already, remember to do so. Also, link down below. And today I wanted to talk about the importance of keeping a balance. I'm going to be offline for a few weeks because we are in the process of moving. We've just bought a 5-acre property and we are actually downsizing back into our caravan for quite some time as a means to be able to offer more programs, spiritual programs and meditation programs and classes and so forth on the property down the road. But until then, we will be downsizing tremendously, which I love doing because I love to declutter, and it reminds me to keep a balance of everything because we can lose it so quickly, whether we get too caught up in the physical world or try and escape too much into the esoteric. It's about keeping a balance and understanding the importance of that balance. So let's start with a meditation. So starting off with a nice, gentle, even breath to let your mind and your body know that you're preparing to turn inward. And with every breath you take in, and with every breath you release, just allow yourself to let go that little bit more. And the more you let go, the more relaxed you will feel. And the more relaxed you feel, the more you will be able to let go of all the roles and responsibilities that may feel like a burden on a daily basis. So allowing yourself to step back, using your power to withdraw, enables you to step away from those roles, those routines, those responsibilities, those connections just for a little while, allowing you to reconnect with yourself, with your heart, with your head, to recognize any imbalance between being and doing, and to give yourself permission to apply the brake. Take a cleansing breath. Let go as you review what needs to be changed. And then make those appropriate changes. Don't wait until another day. Don't put it off until you think you feel better. Change is powerful when I change it the moment I recognize it. So remind yourself again and again, starting right now, that I am a peaceful soul, that I am a being of love and of light, the one who sparks life into this body. I am not this body, this amazing material machine made of organic physical matter. but I am the one who drives this physical vehicle. I am the driver, the controller of this amazing body costume. But I must remember to step back regularly throughout my day, to just take a breath and remind myself of who I am. So that I can let go of the addiction of doing, believing that I have become this body. And so I can take a breath and recharge and reset myself as a soul within the body. So talk to yourself in such a way to remind yourself of your own inner power, your own inner peace, your own inner strengths and abilities, as to wipe out any negativities, any weaknesses that you may be harboring, carrying around, weighing you down. Let them go, one by one, as you learn the practice and the importance of keeping a balance between the spiritual and the material. Om Shanti. So keeping a balance between our spiritual and our material lives. Being aware, first of all, that there is a difference, that there are two separate energies: physical energy, the body, material, everything you can see, taste, touch, hear, smell, and the spiritual, what we can't see. So it's very difficult to perceive what we can't see. We've become so addicted to our sense organs and our sense perceptions that we forget, I forget as an individual, that I am a soul, a being of light within this body, looking through these eyes, hearing through these ears, speaking through these lips. I forget because I've become so physically orientated and socialized and conditioned and programmed that, like the majority of the population, we've simply forgotten our spiritual connection. But we're in a beautiful space in the time of the world cycle where we are being reminded of that. So we need to practice our spirituality through our actions, through our karma. Because karma means action. So whether I do positive action, spiritual uplifting, life-giving action, or whether I do negative karma where I hurt others, or where I allow myself to be hurt by others, or simply hurting myself, they're all forms of negative karma, negative actions. The more I forget that I'm a spiritual being, the less I will remember to stop and be. And I will become more and more addicted, more compelled to do. We have been conditioned to believe that if we aren't doing enough, then we are a waste of space in society, that we are losers. Yet we need to practice being, since we are spiritual beings, not spiritual doings. We are spiritual beings doing through this amazing material, physical machine. But it is a machine. Without the soul present, the body would be lifeless. So let me get that right in my understanding of spirituality, so then I can practice the balance between being and doing, which is probably one of the most difficult things to do in this material driven world. So it's so much easier to keep finding distractions and to keep blaming others and circumstances and the weather and the neighbours and the government. Or it's also much easier to remain either too in the physical and blame, or too esoteric where everything's wonderful, everything's great, everything is peace, love and mung beans. But I'm not keeping that grounded in my practical application of my understanding. So either I remain too airy-fairy about my spiritual understanding and I find it difficult to ground it in my material world, or I'm too materialistic and I'm finding it too heavy to lift myself and remain light and become that being of light. I need to practice stepping back from the roles to be able to become that point of light and to remind myself of my own beauty, my own love, my own power, my own truth. Because otherwise I fluctuate. And you know, we're all wanting the highs of life, don't we? Which is great. There's nothing wrong with appreciating and enjoying the highs in life. And there are some amazing highs in life. But remember, the higher you reach for those highs, the more addicted you become to those highs. You have to be equally prepared to cope with those lows. So for most of us, we don't cope with the lows so well. So we need to taper off the highs. And often I get told, isn't that boring? And you know, from being an old extremist, I was all about the highs and the lows, and you actually become addicted to the highs and the lows. So you become addicted to the drama in life, and you don't even realize it because you think that's normal. You think that's life. But it's certainly not natural to the soul, which is why we feel the pain and the disappointment, and because we become too emotionally bound, and our spiritual power becomes depleted, becomes limited at the best. So then I'm trying to cope with life, with change, with my own idiosyncrasies, with the idiosyncrasies of others, and it becomes a real mishmash of insecurities and unrealistic expectation. So the more I learn to, and like I said, there's nothing wrong with enjoying the highs, providing I am strong enough spiritually to manage the lows without putting them on anyone else, without becoming the victim in my own story. Because if I don't cope so well with the lows, let me not reach for those peaks of desires that I'm searching for. That's not to say we can't reach for the top. For me, it's all about driving higher and higher and higher. But I'm managing to curb it that little bit because I'm accepting more about the importance of the balance, the understanding that a seesaw goes up and down. Life goes up and down. What goes up in the physical world must come down. What is new must become old. So the more I learn to flow with that balance of life, light and dark, the more I'm able to flow with the rivers of life. The big wide rivers, the small narrow channels, the bumpy rides, the smooth sailing. I'm able to flow with it rather than become afraid and resist, or become afraid and become angry and forceful. This way I'm able to be 100% responsible for my own actions, for my own thoughts, my own words, my own behaviors, and I will also reap 100% fruit. Both rotten fruit as well as amazing, beautiful, succulent fruit. The choice then becomes mine. How am I going to, what fruit do I want to receive? If I want to receive continual, succulent, juicy, amazingly uplifting, life-giving fruit, then I must keep my spiritual and my physical life balanced. And the more I'm able to detach from those roles on a regular basis, step inward and become the soul before I take action, the more I detach, the more I'm able to connect better with others, because I'm now connecting with myself and I'm connecting with the divine. So these external connections become healthier because there won't be the same kind of attachment to the outcomes, because I'm now responsible for me. The more I connect with myself, the easier, like I said, my interactions with the external world, the easier my interactions with nature, and the more I will be aware of how my thoughts, words, and actions can impact positively or negatively, and I will reap the fruit of either. That's the karmic account. So becoming aware that the more I learn to be and balance that with doing, not just doing, and then be completely depleted and then try and be. It's not going to happen. I need to be. I need to slowly fill myself up from the inside on a regular basis, many, many times throughout my day, as in order to be able to do and function to the best of my ability without me feeling depleted. Be able to give. The more I'm able to give, the more I actually receive. And the more I receive, the more I'm able to keep giving. It's not about taking, it's about receiving automatically, because I'm not hanging on to any of the energy that's coming. I accept it, I appreciate it, I'm grateful for it, and I send it back out. So it's a continual flow. It's not these highs and lows, the peaks and troughs. It's more of a gentle wave that you're able to ride, like the beautiful sunset on the horizon type of feeling. And the more silent I become within, the more I'm able to recognize what I need to transform, what I need to change, the triggers that are still unhealed within me, the more I'm able to come into sound with power without being distracted or sucked in or lose my confidence in the process of getting drawn into that sound. The more I close the doors from the past, the more new doors will open onto my new spiritual path. And it will be more in line, it will be more aligned with my true, pure, peaceful, powerful, blissful, loveful, light energy. And that is being able to keep a balance between your spiritual and your practical. It's very important, because often when we get, people can get quite fanatical when they start something new, especially spirituality. And these days it's becoming a bit of an in thing to be practicing spirituality, which is absolutely wonderful because it's now mainstream, so people are considering it more. But often if we become fanatical about it, again, we will go to that extreme, and we haven't applied, we haven't set a firm foundation. And so the moment an emotional storm comes to get me, and they will, it's like my house is being built on sand, and the storm, everything, the foundation is just going to come crushing down. So don't become fanatical, because that also can become very heavy going spiritually. And so often people give up because it's too hard. So it's a balance. It's about learning to become the lotus within the context of your life. Not to go off on a mountaintop, because, there are unpeaceful people on top of the mountaintop as well. So it's about being able to practice it, that peaceful lotus, beautiful being within the mud of living, and to use the nutrients from our surroundings, to use that friction to help us grow, to help us shine like that sparkling diamond. And that is power, that is spirituality, that is keeping a balance between the spiritual and the physical. So I hope you gain some insight and some inspiration on how to keep a balance in your life. And I will see you in a few weeks. And in the meantime, let's finish off with another meditation. So once again, taking a nice breath. Just allow yourself to turn inward. Just turn away, turn your face away from all the external, and just turn inward. I want you to go deep, deep into your imagination. I want you now to see or sense or feel yourself as a tree. Simple, growing tree. And firstly, I want you to see yourself standing there tall, and imagine the roots coming from your feet, and flowing deep into the earth, connecting, grounding. Strong, stable. And as you're feeling strong and stable, that no matter how strong the winds of change are, you will let those winds of change flow through, rustle through your leaves and branches, but you will bend and sway but never break. Because I want you now to see those branches reaching up high, higher and higher, suspended in the sky, connected to the divine source of all energy, feeling light, lighter than you've ever felt before, yet strong and stable, because you know your roots are firmly grounded in Mother Earth. You are not weak. You are powerful beyond measure because of your upper connection and your lower connection. Allow those branches to fill up, electrify. Strengthen. See the growth. So powerful. Smell the fruit or the fragrance of the flowers growing onto those branches, from buds. Into amazing, colourful rainbow of fragrance. That permeates the air. Awakening all your senses, your physical senses. Reminding you of the importance of the balance of grounding, enlightening yourself, the importance of being and doing, of silence and of sound. Close those doors of fear. Open those doors of opportunity as the fruit or the flowers continue to bloom. So it is up to you to practice to be that tree, connected physically and spiritually. So you can make clear choices and decisions about your life, while you remain stable and loving in your own powerful truth. Om Shanti.